As of late, Scott Disick has been a bitter thorn in the side of Kourtney Kardashian and Travis Barker's relationship. Many believe that Scott may even have some ill will towards them after realizing that Kourtney is no longer his emotional punching bag. That's why today we're going to be breaking down the top 10 times Scott Disick had a public meltdown. But first, if you could do us a big favor and please tap that like button, we'd really appreciate it. And that out of the way, let's begin. Coming number 10, DMs leaked. Scott Disick, who was just dumped by his ex-girlfriend Amelia Hamlin, has been popping up a lot in the news lately after he allegedly sent some harsh text messages to Kourtney's ex Eunice Benjamin about her trip with Travis to Italy. Now, a source has apparently come forward to confirm that Scott has some very unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis. While speaking with Entertainment Tonight, the source said, and I quote, "Kourtney and Scott are definitely not as close as they once were. Scott has some unsettled ill will towards Kourtney and Travis being together, and Kourtney is over the jealousy. She thinks Scott needs to grow up," which is an appropriate response to those leaked messages that Scott had sent out. I mean, they were really petty. Plus, Eunice actually called Scott out in those same messages. In the DM, Scott says to Eunice, "Yo, is this chick okay? Bro, like what is this? In the middle of Italy?" And in response, Eunice said, "Doesn't matter to me as long as she's happy. P.S. I ain't your bro." This message seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back in Scott's relationship with the 20-year-old Amelia Hamlin. In number 9, Bella Thorne. Unfortunately for Scott, his new lady at the time was not of age to participate in his favorite activity of drinking booze. Back in 2017, Scott was spotted getting close with 19-year-old Bella Thorne in France while Kourtney was in Cannes, France with her new guy, Eunice Benjamin. He also taught her the art of manipulating the paparazzi to make your ex jealous. Kendall Jenner revealed Disick only started seeing Thorne to make his ex Kourtney upset. According to her, Disick had spoken with Kendall about the relationship and he flat out admitted to only doing it to make Kourtney angry. Although Scott lost his narrative when Bella Thorne told several media outlets that the relationship was legit nothing. During an interview with Complex, she told them, "Scott is really nice, sweet, charming. I don't drink and he really drinks a lot. And it just ended up, I just wasn't down. I was like, I gotta leave. I love to go out and have fun. I love to effing dance, but I just don't party hardcore like that and it was way too much for me." In number 8, cheating on vacation. For a long time, the relationship between Scott Disick and Kourtney Kardashian had been tumultuous to say the least. Even the rest of the Kardashian family was confused about the status of their relationship, although it became much more clear when Scott was caught getting a little too close with his ex-girlfriend Chloe Bartoli. Following the paparazzi taking these photos, the two broke up. Although that was just the nail in the coffin moment. Before this, Kim had actually caught a woman hiding in Scott's bathroom while in Dubai. Following those exposing photos, Kourtney wanted to rekindle the relationship, so she invited him to vacation with the family in Costa Rica. And while there, he actually tried to sneak a woman into the hotel room, all while he was trying to reunite with the mother of his children. In number 7, forgetting birthdays. While on vacation in the Bahamas in 2016, Scott really angered the entire Kardashian clan after he somehow forgot his daughter Penelope's birthday. She had birthday wishes from almost every family member except for Scott, her own father. Scott, who had a full 24 hours to send something, even an HBD would have been more acceptable than nothing. He said nothing though, and didn't even offer up a happy belated birthday upon people calling him out for this. Instead, he just posted more of his own face to Instagram, proving that narcissism knows no bounds. In number 6, shaming Kourtney. We know that Scott is not afraid of telling you how he really feels. In fact, he expresses very little remorse for being vocal about things even if it's inappropriate, like the several times that he took various digs at Kourtney's weight in 2013. Many viewers of the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians were shocked to see Kourtney crying because Scott said that she couldn't lose her baby weight quickly enough after the birth of Penelope. He told her, "Last time around you tried to watch what you were eating after you had Mason, at least you were losing weight." When she replied shocked, he added harshly, "Just do it faster, you're my piece of machinery." In number 5, too many pills. Scott is no stranger to partying as chronicled by his many drunken meltdowns captured for the show Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Although for his 31st birthday he took things way too far. Disick decided to get all of his friends together for an event in the Hamptons where the family was staying for the summer. However, Kourtney, who is usually his calming influencer, decided to head back to LA for North's birthday, which left Scott alone with his own demons. He got so day drunk that a member of the Kardashian security team actually had to take him to bed for a nap. Then when he woke up, he gets ready to party more as they head out to a nightclub. Unfortunately, upon arriving back at the house, Scott decided to take an entire bottle of sleeping pills, which ended up sending him to rehab. In number 4, the paparazzi. Over the course of the relationship with Kourtney Kardashian, Scott Disick has become more and more accustomed to the paparazzi being a normal part of his everyday life. These people's every moments get tracked by these photographers and sometimes are utilized by celebrities to push a certain narrative. However, in 2011, no one will forget his foul outbursts on paparazzi when they got way too close to him and his son Mason at the airport. It was one of the many outbursts that they had caught on camera, but for this point, I at least acknowledge that this meltdown came as a result of protecting his own son. I mean, you gotta give him credit for that. Meltdown, good or bad. In number 3, attacking Rob. On the very same episode that Scott attacked a waiter, which we'll get to soon, he also ended up getting into a huge brawl with Rob Kardashian as well. It's like he never even realized that there were cameras filming him for this show. Well, that or he just doesn't care. At one point in the episode, Scott decides that he is going to trash his entire hotel room and punch Rob Kardashian in the face. This wasn't his last time causing chaos while staying in a hotel though. 5 years later, he trashed another hotel room in Aspen that resulted in a bill of over $1,800 just for the drinks, as well as $500 in repairs to his room. In number 2, the broken mirror. Again, Then in a drunken rage, Scott Disick had a big fight with his own reflection. When Kourtney returned home, she could smell smoke in the room, and so she questioned Scott about this. Disick, who was passed out at the time, and upon being accused of smoking in the house, he began to lose his temper, resulting in him punching a mirror, which definitely undermines a previous episode where Kourtney said that he was a real softie and he's not a monster at all. That aside, Kim and Kourtney were visibly frightened upon seeing this and ran from the apartment to get the baby away from his deranged father. This also marks the first time that the producers of the show actually had to step in and get help for Scott to send him to the hospital for surgery on his hand. Kourtney then informed Scott of the decision to end the relationship and that he couldn't see Mason until he had cleaned up his act. And coming in at our number 1 spot, the waiter. In season 4 of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Scott infamously shoved money down a waiter's throat while partying in Las Vegas for Kim's birthday. Apparently, the waiter had been told by Kris Jenner to stop giving Scott alcohol, which only set Disick off even more. As he shoved a $100 bill down the waiter's gullet, he told him to shut his effing mouth, which definitely confirms that he should have probably been cut off much earlier in the night. Because if that's your reaction when you don't get more of what you want, you shouldn't even been served more booze. Yeah. And that has been the top 10 times Scott Disick had a public meltdown. But before we get out of here, I'm gonna check out some of your comments from the video titled "Selena Gomez fans makes Hailey Bieber cry." Rain says, when will people realize that Justin and Selena were teenagers when they dated? He is married, he's happy and in love, and people making them feel bad for this is awful. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. They're married now. Leave them alone. That was an old relationship. People really need to move on here. Karma B Swift says, that was cruel of them. Hailey is human and doesn't deserve that. I mean, there's nothing that the security of the event could have really done to stop this, but definitely Selena Gomez coming out and being like, hey guys, maybe chill for a little bit, that might have helped. But it's not really her place either. Juvie Jane DiDio says, imagine being immature enough to not understand a marriage. They should move on. He's married. Couldn't agree more. Nora says, it's weird, Selena's over it, he is over it, the only ones still in that relationship are these people chanting her name. True, you make a very good point there, Nora. Shannon Kilpatrick says, wow, that's so cruel, those people were way out of line, I hope Hailey is okay. Me as well. I mean, it might actually end up causing them to start avoiding events like this if Selena Gomez fans are just gonna, actually I don't want to blame Selena Gomez fans, let's call them Jelena fans, people that are still stuck in that relationship. They need to settle down, or otherwise we might never see JB and Hailey out in public anymore because of this. But folks, that's all the time I have for you today. I've been your host, Johnny Rogers, and until next time, stay classy, YouTube, or at least try.